There have always been stories, ever since the earliest days. I suppose in the beginning, rather than holographic colour and noise, stories were more like dreams spoken aloud. They were bison on cave walls and campfire myths on how the world was born. Those verbal stories, that's where it must all have begun. They were magic. They were alive. But being alive, they also had to die. They vanished with the breath of the storyteller, to be reincarnated, evolving, mutating with each retelling, until eventually the original stories were lost forever. there at last. It's all right. Don't be frightened. Is this what you were after? Go on. No, look. Isn't it wonderful? I started to worry that you'd never come. Every morning I'd open the shop full of hope, but in vain. At closing time, I bring all the books in from the empty street, take down the awnings, telling myself, maybe tomorrow he'll arrive.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes, you, sir. You are my first customer in 25 years, 2 months and 6 days. That's what I've been waiting for.
What's a customer?
It's like when you buy things on a computer, only better. You get to come here, see the books, touch them and smell them. Old books, nothing like it. E. Nesbit seems to have the best bouquet, I think, though I found some Hetty Brontes the other day in a box with old pipe tobacco. If you should catch a whiff of it, it'll knock your socks off.
Is this a story?
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, what else does it do?
It's a book. It paints pictures in your head. It gives you memories of things you will never experience. Look, the only way you will ever find out is to explore for yourself. Be my guest. You can read whatever you like. Would you like that? After much archaeology of my shelves, he went home with Kenneth Graham, Richmal Crompton, a Beano Annual, and a whole host of treasures besides. I almost envied him discovering them for the first time. After 25 years of waiting, my books had a new reader at last.
In the old days, did everyone used to read books?
As a lad, we all queued up at midnight for a book about a wizard. It was the vogue. I imagined him poring over every page, engrossed in the characters and the illustrations, falling in love with books, just as I had done at his age. I suppose it was naive to have expected him to come back the very next day. He'd never read a single book before, let alone a whole pile. But as the days turned into weeks, I started to wonder if I had simply dreamt him. Was the boy a phantom, prophesying my fall into madness? Would I soon have a shop teeming with fictional customers? If I were to die, what would happen to my books? Would I be found rotting among them, or would no one come? would the walls tumble and the roof cave in on me until the rain dissolved each volume and my bones drowned in a sea of papier-mâché, the meaning washed away with the ink, the books growing back into a forest. The boy wasn't coming back, was he? I was saving the books for no one.
Hello? Hello? Can I read some more books, please? To dear Stuart, with best wishes from Mother and Father. What happened to them? Where's Stuart now?
Long gone. That book was unwrapped on Christmas morning, long before even my grandfather was born. The world was a different place then.
How did it end up here?
My books are not second-hand at all. They're fifth and sixth hand, you know. In the old days, if someone died, I might be donated a whole cardboard box for. That was when everyone had books in their house. Nowadays, the attics and alcoves in England are bare. Even the elderly don't seem to leave books behind anymore.
What happened to the other bookshops?
There aren't any. Oh, there used to be a whole network of us, but they all went out of business, or passed away. Now it's just me. And as for the books, well, this is the lot. For a time I was able to raid these skips and wheelie bins for new stock, but that all dried up.
Oh, what's this?
I think you found an old banknote.
I promised to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £5.
It's a funny thing, but banknotes weren't real money. They were sort of promissory notes from the king, and before that the queen. I don't think she ever coughed up.
What's money?
When you wanted to buy a book, or anything else for that matter, rather than tapping numbers into the computer, you gave the shopkeeper some of these.
As a swap?
Yes, if you like.
Couldn't you read any of the books for free?
You could borrow books from a place called the library. That was before they were all shut down. You know, for a while, there were electronic books, so you could buy or rent any text. Remarkable things. They were all the rage for years. I had one, a little plastic tablet and a touch screen. Looked like the real thing. E-ink, I think they called it. Well, died out, of course. What's the use of a pretend book if nobody knows what a real one is? You might as well have a pretend mangle.
What's a mangle?
Exactly. I think I may have some old American money somewhere. Let me think.
What did the shopkeepers do with the money they were given?
Put it in the till and swapped it in return for gas and electricity. I must see if I can find those dollars for you to see.
Amazon, thanks you for your purchase.
What happened?
I was paying for the books I took, like in the old days.
No. As long as money didn't change hands, they turned a blind eye to me. I knew I should have thrown that old thing out years ago.
Have I done something wrong? I'm sorry.
You have to leave. Come on. You need to go home and forget all about this.
Why?
Every line, every word written in this shop is copyright of the Gamazone Corporation. They seized their rights to everything years ago. There was no opting out. This whole shop is a massive copyright infringement. I'm not allowed to sell any of it.
I don't understand.
You be a good boy and go home. I've got to shut up the shop for the night. There have always been stories, and there always will be. This was the story I wanted to tell. But there are no books left in which to tell it.